Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Prophecy TV, and I'm your host, Jay Taylor. As you can see by the title, guys, chaos, chaos, chaos in Trinidad and Tobago. As far as the football is concerned in Trinidad, there has been a lot of obstacles for this country to really get it together. I know a lot of people know about the whole situation that took place with a Jack Warner. When Jack Warner left the football in Trinidad, a lot of people wanted him out, but I think they starting to realize the impact that Jack Warner had on football in Trinidad. He basically took charge. He had things running smoothly, though some would say he didn't make a lot of friends on the ground in Trinidad. A lot of people can also said he did accomplish a lot of things for the Football Federation. As of right now, as you know, in Trinidad, the league has just stopped. The new formed league in Trinidad that they started up, as there are potential lawsuits over copyright infringement going on there. I will read you something from an article as to what's happening with the football in Trinidad, and you can, and then we'll just chop it up after. In this article said after 9 days of matches in the new TNT Premier League, the tournament now faces an injunction via the TNT courts that will stop indefinitely. Damian Prescott, a former player now turned administrator, told the media on Wednesday that his attorney have the tournament stopped at any time now for the breach of intellectual property. And we all know what intellectual property is, guys. And you know, where it comes to copyright infringement, this is someone's idea, their concept, the way they want to implement things. So this guy, Prescott, is basically saying that Damien, um, that his idea was basically stolen, as we can see by the first paragraph. He said Prescott, who played for Malabar football team, drummers back in 1992 to 93 as a defender before transitioning to football administration. He said he's expected to benefit. He said he is expected to benefit from millions of dollars from a football development plan that was conceptualized by him before it was given to the TNT Football Federation, TTFA. Technical Director Anton Carneal, back on September 2021, Carney, he said, gave him a promise that he will take the proposal all the way to fruition. So basically, he's saying he came up with a concept of how the league should be structured and his whole idea of how the league should be run, and he took it to the PNT Football FA, and they obviously it seems like they implemented this idea without his knowledge or without him partaking in this deal. He said with 9 rounds of matches completed, Prescott said that he has twice written to Carneal, to the normalization committee and the embattled football association to follow up on their agreement, but to no avail. I am fed up, he said. um, I'm fed up. This is not about the money really, because proposed structure was designed to benefit all the stakeholders, from players to coach, official, clubs, referees, communities, and then the country on a whole. I don't know what was the hurry in getting the league started so fast, but it had plans in getting the international investors to come here and assure the players to receive a minimum salary of 10,000 a month. So he was saying that his plan was, Prescott is saying that his plan was more of a long-term plan, where he wanted the money to trickle down to everyone, where players were getting paid a good salary, communities were getting involved, and overall everybody would win, and it would, and Trinidad would also have a league back up and running. But he's saying now, it seems like what I'm getting from what I'm reading here is that the FA went on and implement these things very quickly, without him basically without him being involved, without him being one of the person who's spearheading this mission. So he feels a bit disgruntled, and we will just read a bit more and see what else he has to say. Um, it said it was also designed to award-winning team a cash prize of 1 million plus move on to contest the regional competition in the Caribbean Cancer Cup. So as you know, guys, you have the Caribbean Champions League in this region where all the top teams play. Teams out of Trinidad hasn't been competing because Trinidad hasn't have had a league that's been up and functioning. So he's saying that this was part of his concept. It seems like his concept was well thought out. However, someone preempt, and the FA, seems like Mr. Carneal went on and implement some of those things without Mr. Prescott being involved. So this is causing a rift. Hence the league is no is going to be halted based on a court injunction. To date, the league first tier has been welcome displayed by all, with players at each club receiving 50,000 from government FIFA to share up in salaries. It's also provide players with the opportunity to showcase their talent to the national coaches Angus Eve. So as you know, guys, Angus Eve is the coach of the Trinidad national team. He has been doing some good work with the youngsters. They came to Jamaica recently and played us in two friendlies, and you can see that he's someone who believes in his players, but they are a bit way off. They are a work in progress. I think, listen, guys, I'm sorry to just break this, but Trinidad was one of the powerhouses in the Caribbean. I don't think people understand. I remember as a kid watching Dwight York, the Dwight York. Dwight York may be one of the most decorated football players out of the entire Caribbean. I don't know any player since Dwight York who has achieved what Dwight York has achieved at Manchester United as a Caribbean player. Some might say he hasn't had that impact on the international stage, but we all know that transferring your form from a club level to an international team is much harder, as you don't have the same set of players, and it's not necessarily as easy as playing with a bunch of stars. So Trinidad football was at in a good place, and that we had Jack Warner, we had Dwight York, we had those guys. They had players at Southampton, at Swansea. Like Trinidad was really on top of football. They went to a World Cup. Um, yeah, seems like it's all crumbling right in front of our eyes here, guys. He said Eve, who took up the national coaching job back in 2021, following the exit of national team from the Caribbean round and the FIFA World Cup qualifiers under the coach Fenwick, Terry Fenwick, has called for a domestic competition to help with the selection or formation of a team. We all know this, guys. If you don't have a strong league, you then have to source these players from elsewhere. And basically, Trinidad doesn't have a Premier League, a top flight league where players are playing consistently, where players are breaking through into the first team. So this is why the FA thought it was important for them to get moving and potentially get this league out there as fast as possible, especially with the qualifiers for the Gold Cup coming up. Maybe they want to look at more players and have a bigger pool and have more players playing. The second tier of the competition is expected to begin this month as well, organizer says. Carneal yesterday described the claims as absurd. He said, I gave him a listening ears. He came to me for ideas about community league many years ago because I knew a person who introduced us. I didn't even know his real name. Now the TTFA started a league and he claims it's his idea. He have he have had a league football for many years. Persons who for many years, chairman of the FIFA installed normalization committee, Robert Haddad, said that he took no advice from anyone but the sports world governing body FIFA and CONCACAF for the start of the league. He warned that although he's aware of the proposal, no agreement was reached between the parties. I am aware of him, Damian um, Prescott, but there are hundreds of others like him who have sent in proposal to reshape and reorganize the TTFA. But at the end of the day, nobody signed any contract with any one of these many people. And I would not call any names who sent in proposal. So basically, Mr. Cornell is saying that Mr. Prescott don't really have a leg to stand on. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on because there's nothing in contract. There's nothing signed between the Trinidad FA and this gentleman. So he is just making statements that will only just get him in hot water as he has his own league. So again, guys, they have to get it together in Trinidad. It's about time. We need a healthy Trinidad in the Caribbean competing when it comes on to football. So I hope Mr. Prescott and Mr. Carneal and the Trinidad FA get it together. And I will be following this story very keenly because I do want Trinidad to get back to that place where they are competing at the highest level. We need a quality Trinidad. So stay tuned again, guys. It's Jay Taylor again from Sports Prophecy TV, and we'll have more for you on this story coming up shortly.